Inferno! Time for Inferno. Will we see Rogue? Because they were missing on Overpass.
Oh. See what you did there, James.
That was good.
That was straightforward.
That was sneaky.
That's
Thanks,
really
guys.
Good. That's
Appreciate
really
that
good.
one.
Thank you. Will we see them though?
Yes, I
Are
think
they
we
going
will.
to turn up? Better map, better match.
Actually, you know what? I feel like Luminosity has made some improvements already. Their overpass was a lot better than it was. They were pushing and stuff. It was good.
Yeah, it took me. It took me by surprise. I was to see the monster pushes. I was like, oh, what? Luminosity, which is good
Yeah.
because we want to see that. How are you feeling? You
No,
just look
absolutely.
like your face is wet.
It is, and it feels really good. It's really refreshing.
So you know what a concept I think would be cool.
It smells like soap though.
What? No.
It smells like soap. I don't like
Smells
it.
like cactus flower and
So
Tibetan
you know, a
ginseng
concept
hydrating mist.
I think would be
Oh,
cool.
excuse me.
would
There's
be-
an anagram in there for soap.
Do you
Though.
wanna-
No. Stop! Don't make my book smell of that.
Oh my god. Cactus juice.
Oh,
So you know, a concept I think would be cool.
I'm inhaling it.
Would be how in StarCraft you have
Yeah.
you have fog of war, right?
Okay.
So in Counter-Strike, you
Yeah.
can really see how much information you don't have, and bring that to light for a team. If you add a fog of war to the map when they played,
Do you mean actually like show it on the radar?
Show-
Or-
maybe in just a video or something, but just show how much information they're missing compared
Yeah.
to another team that wins more rounds because they have less fog of war.
I actually wanted to create like a tool that basically it tells you how much pressure a team is putting on the map and in what spaces, which is measured by grenades, by noise that's audible to players in position. Like I feel like you can, because pressure is like a really big thing in Counter-Strike. But this is another topic for another time because we are.
Or another round.
Yes, but it is a genius idea and no one else has come up with it. So I'll just keep that to myself for now. Now we've got, I mean, this is, again, we talked about how scary this can be for the CTs. And right now, Rogue are sorely out of position for what will be an A burst. Smoke there. Is that on Moto? I think it is. And that will isolate the players on the bomb sites. And the bomb site's theirs.
Yeah.
It was indeed Moto, okay.
The ASA wasn't really strong for what was happening, but so obviously they can't know that it's going to be a Halls pop in that situation. But Vice being in Graveyard versus Pistols is actually really good. Oh, Hiko did not clear that properly, and the knife comes out.
Nice.
Oh my god. Ugh. Schleiched.
Yeah, that's a pretty big deal. Loads of extra money in the bank. And so we talked about this dilemma earlier today again, and we might as well talk about it again because we see it here. So as Londa said, they don't have the info to see that it's a horse pop. Now, what some teams do is they send a CT to jump spot through the apps into second mid to
That's
see.
what Vice did.
Oh, he did do that.
Yeah, and then he got hit and he fell back.
And they slowed it down to reset the situation.
Yeah.
But it seems strange then that also that Rogue would have 3 still just sitting on B then at that point of the round, because what most teams will do is they'll have a player that floats between the 2 bomb sites that can be reactive to information, whereas the other 2 or the other people on the sites can be static, and that guy is the only guy that gets that privilege.
Maybe Luminosity went solely off that information that they know they tagged Vice, and Vice would probably play like something very safe. And so Paul's like ours, and Rogue on the other hand were like, oh, it's so early in the round, we can't get a proper read off of this information. Especially since we know that Vice got hit and he can't stay there.
Oh, big play from GMD though.
Whoa.
Just diving down mid, and he will get taken down by the UMP. And I think it was a pretty good call from Rogue, as James has pointed out in the past. If you have a very fast spawn to top mid and you see a couple players running into banana, you can be pretty sure that there's going to be a lot of banana pressure. So that's good information. It allowed GMD also to just charge down middle, which was an unexpected push, but as you can see, works out so far. Rogue, though, not in the best of places. Showtime trying to get rid of the AK, unsuccessful. And Cello trying to create space towards Arch. And Arch is a great place to clear, but Cadian's watching it. If they were to clear Arch, it causes a huge amount of problems for the CTs because they lose all information as to where the T can go. So in this position, can go B, can cut noise and just wait for someone to push, go A. It's very ambiguous now.
Yeah. Showtime opened up the map a bit here. Cadian just kind of repeaked. I mean, Showtime just waited for him, really. But 2 1v1s at hand. It's not going to be too easy to plant the bomb, but he does have full utility to try. Pico, looks like he's going to call this out.
Goes for it. It's pretty ballsy because there's a couple things happening there as well. Hiko can either wait for his teammate to try to guarantee a 2v1 and just basically monitor the noise of where his opponent is, and that can tell him exactly like where it's. Like he can hold an off angle onto the side if he wants, so that okay, I know he can't cross this way. He has to be in this corner of the site. The teammate can pincer in, but he thought he had the timing, which was correct as well. So there's a safe way and a risky way. The risky way works if you have the info.
Yeah, took a bit of a risk there. Hit every bullet though, and only took like 20 damage.
Yeah.
And he knew that it was going to be kind of an awkward spot after the first oranges plant. If he knew, since he pushed right away, he's going to be right here. So there was a few advantages. Fortunate it turned out the way it did. Luminosity, they have to save. They must now save.
Deagle, PT50 Glock. Not having a fun time in Luminosity here in this round, I would imagine. Tenuta Alti. I have no idea what that means.
What is that?
I don't know. There's some other Italian. I think that's probably Latin. It might be Latin, right? Because
Inferno.
Italian is pretty based. Italian is pretty based in Latin. There's like lots of Italian on the walls on the map. Like does it like, and it's also on like a crest as well. So you'd imagine that it probably will be fitting. Actually, in Italy, in schools, they actually do teach Latin still. I think in some schools.
That's awesome.
The dead language.
That's awesome.
I don't know if it's still going on now, but I knew some of the Face It devs when I was living in Milan. They would talk to me about the Latin in schools that they would learn. That they would be like, well, why are we doing this?
Oh my God! They called it rotates because that one dig, and now they've actually gotten the spot information at mid. They're gonna lose. They're gonna lose the round now. Oh my God.
Well, GMD, he could save things if he goes huge. All the flames are everywhere though, and he can't get anything. Launders, why is this?
One dig and everybody got scared.
This always happens. It's like, oh, nothing. They're not going to lose this round. I can talk about something that's not CS related, then boom. But you never know in Counter-Strike, and that's why we love it.
I feel like Latin is it's less of a language class and more of just like a general knowledge class, because you won't ever really get to practice it or anything like that, but you could learn so much about
dead language,
the etymology of words, and how to learn other languages and stuff.
In law, there's a lot of usage of Latin in law. Legal speech is full of Latin phrases.
That's true. Why is that?
I would imagine that it's I don't know actually, but I'd imagine it is due to the fact that legal systems have existed for obviously ever since civilization really existed, and it's likely a sort of a historical nod and just a keep over. For example, like mea culpa means like the culpability of an individual, like how culpable I might be in a situation that's, or like mens rea, guilty minds, actus rea, guilty act, like these things. Like it's so you could use English, but you could also like keep the culture alive a bit for the profession and do a nod to the history of it. So I guess perhaps that would be the reason.
Yeah, there might even be less of a point in even reteaching in English when a word already exists.
Yeah, and it's also more about what its representation is a phrase and within the context of the field. So in this instance, law. But as Luminosity move forwards here, looking to get some info with BKL, he's going to find the frag. So that's a really nice way to open things up. And right now, Rogue. Oh, that's a beautiful spray down. Lovely, tasty.
Dirt McGirt.
Tasty like that jerk chicken we just consumed. Thank you, Launders, for that, by the way. Yeah, we appreciate it. But you can't imagine that Rogue are too happy with the round previous. They had a Deagle, 2 Deagles, a P250,
3 Glocks,
and
3
2 Glocks. Was it 3 Glocks?
I think it was 3 Glocks. Maybe you're right.
It was either way. It was like that. It was something around there, and that's and they not a round they're supposed to win, yet they reset their opponents. Look at their money, OMG.
copious amounts of income.
OMG.
Copious is a nice word.
Convivial. Copious.
Copious is a much better word than convivial.
Hater.
Even hate is a better word.
Just jumping around. Hiko's just bunny hopping around the bomb site. Hiko is bored of life.
Where is the morale? You do wonder on the rogue side. Creeping forwards. Edging in.
Actually, speaking of like the phrase bored of life, when if you would shoot yourself to death with a rocket launcher in Quake 1, it would come up with that console message. This player is bored with life. Because you know, you shoot yourself to death with a rocket launcher.
It's very family friendly.
Trivia. Yeah. It's always cool that the different games have different identities in that way. They're in humor.
Yeah. Fortnite does, when you fall to your death, it doesn't stick the landing.
Oh, nice. And Counter-Strike, we just have, all we have is chickens. I feel like.
Oh, it's chickens, yeah.
That's the comic relief, I think, is just chickens.
That's true.
That's all the comic relief we have.
I think the music is also kind of important. It's actually really good, I think, to have the music in spawns.
I definitely agree. Again, you know, we talked about it before as well. It's always very cool. You always feel much more involved in the game you're playing. It's more immersive when there's sort of a lore and themes, also kind of like a branding that sort of ties or is consistent with all of the levels and all that kind of stuff. It just feels really cool. So I hope we sort of slowly move in that direction, more in that direction with CS.
Speaking of lore.
It is a wonderful game and the gameplay is fantastic. So let's see if Rogue can redeem themselves. Can they find redemption? It's a redemption story. Oh, that's a nice way to start. Oh! Spray him down.
Oh, PKL, can you have a repeat performance? No, you cannot. Wow. That flashbang was strong.
That was just amazing. Banana pressure. Like, everyone's blind here. And the double nade at the beginning. Like, literally, that's when they talked about how to take banana in that way. That was one look they were going to give. That was the ideal situation.
That's one round, though. Can they have a repeat performance of that? Can they?
They wiped out 25k instantly.
Yeah, but Luminosity still have money to buy, and here they are again. So, ooh, they caught off guard for the second time. PKL will respond through the smoke, and with 6 down to 15 HP, can't really try to punish that spray. There are 2 players here, but how will this continue?
Deep banana smoke.
It's very good.
But is that smoke, is it a signal? Is it a challenge?
Or is it?
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing is there's certain things that, you know, one team will do to another, which is sort of a challenge. It's like, what are you going to do about this? That is very much the case with that smoke sometimes. And, well, they're going to push into the A side perhaps, getting the kills as they may Vice with a quick peek perhaps. A flash would go a long way from a teammate, but they have no utility remaining. And Cello's found his way through into CT spawn. What is he going to find there? It's an APC. There's beautiful flowers and also a free passage to that B bomb site where Sick has 15 HP.
Another salient point. They went to seek out the information. That was really good from Rogue as well, though. And that's causing Luminosity to slow down a little bit, but they've got to go at this point. So I'm just going to play the numbers. Sick. Oh.
Oh! Ah, you wondered. You did wonder. GMD, got to go for it, surely. 1 versus 2, bombs just gone down on Banana, got a kit, got to go for it. It's a must-win situation. Is that an AWP on Banana? Maybe that will sway him later on into a save. Bomb planted on Coffins. Bomb clock is ticking. And he has nothing to draw out any of these players. Ooh, team kill on double peak, but whatever. The round is won. I think at that point, it is actually, there is a decision to be made if you want to save or not, because you have no idea where the 2 players are. They are not going to peek very most likely until you touch the bomb. I think it's really hard for him to win that one.
Yeah.
But he did his best, and it will leave Rogue in a forced buy situation. 2 M4s and 3 CZ75s versus another full buy from Luminosity. So maybe they can clean out Rogue in this round.
Yeah, they've really gone in. The 3 CZs, the 2 M4s. Luminosity Pats with some, just a bit more coy about Banana now after the situation they had prior where they got pretty lit up in that position. The entire team, in fact. Okay, let's see if Yao can deal with this setup. This is kind of strong. Oh, the jiggling is not going to be working out. They will jiggle, and now they will be consumed.
That was the ideal, unlike the pistol, that was the ideal setup for the top mid pressure.
Yeah.
That Luminosity were trying to get away with. The flash would have gone a long way. I don't think they were playing anti-flash. But sometimes the unexpected play is the better one.
Yeah. Thank you for the first kill. This is the last real chance here for Luminosity to win this round. B has to work. The bomb will be planted, so that is a really big boon to their economy. EK will make his way around the side. CZ announcing its presence in construction. And Luminosity are going to be feeling pretty pressured soon because they have no grenades as well. There's a Molotov on Vice. And honestly, Rogue are in a very favorable spot here for this retake.
They've got Banana though.
Oh, there's one kill for Naked. He can run distraction. Showtime killing from the pool area. And here comes PKL. They've turned it around. And Vice doesn't have a kit. They will face. Showtime running away now. Can he get around the corner? He can. And that is the round 1 for Luminosity. So crisis averted. They will almost all go down.
That was they could play much stronger spots because they had someone on Banana to make sure that they couldn't get flanked. The Banana guy doesn't exist. The pool guy can't watch CT. The guy at Emo can't watch aggressively right here. Yeah, he's exposed to Banana the whole time. So, and since no one was coming to attack Banana, it set them all up for like strong positions.
Yeah, that's a very good point. I misread it. I felt like the nade advantage as well would have been much more strong for Rogue, but I was wrong, and now they're on eco. I like your, speaking of words as well, I like your use that you keep using the word salient. I like that word a lot.
That's a nice word.
Yeah.
It's better than convivial.
Salient was a word I started working into my vocabulary like a couple months ago. Because I liked it so much.
It reminds me of fast cars.
Salient? Really was that?
I don't know. Somehow, some weird way that words work in your mind.
Strange.
Like how convivial grosses James out.
For those who don't know, and so you'd have to look it up, salient basically means sort of like the most important points, the sort of most pertinent point about whatever you're talking or speaking on. And it's funny though, sometimes like when you are asked to explain like what a word means, it's crazy like how much of a struggle it is sometimes. And then you go and look at the dictionary, like, oh my god, they nailed it! They nailed it! Mm-hmm. It's like how did they do this? It's so beautiful the way they.
I know, it's actually great.
It's awesome. Yeah.
And who are they? Who are they? Professors.
I respect those people, dictionary people. Okay, so we got the AWP for Cadian. Pete comes in. Oh, he goes. That's actually kind of cool in a way. It doesn't have an effect, but sort of flicking, like just a sort of pre-flick. I don't know how you would describe it, but he just gets a shot in there. But meanwhile, Luminosity look to do a balcony pop. You're going to pop off, James.
Bosh. The second flashbang through the apps is one that catches Cadian or GMD, or maybe even both of them, and they both go down eventually. And that is Vice left in isolation as he goes to join his teammates. He's just quietly walking away with his head down like, nope. I know what this means. I must move away from these people.
Man, oh man.
That second flash was brilliant.
Yeah.
They're showing good diversity of like being able to like default, being able to have an exit. Because the thing about this is it looks like they're just walking out, but as James says, this is like a round. This is like a routine round, obviously, and every team on Inferno should have a good halls pop type round, which has good protocols, which has good flashes and so on. And you can see that Luminosity just very prepared for Inferno, which is cool to see.
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely not a huge fan of like straight up lane takes, but like that's not what I consider a lane take because they don't have a bunch of grenades that would telegraph their positions. Instead, it just is something very quick off of a couple of good flashes, like James pointed out. That second one just kind of really ices one player. That's all they need.
It's cool because you can't. I think GMD turned from the flash from top mid. He saw it coming, turned into the other one.
Face
So
first.
Cadian's Counter-Strike has decided to crash. So we are awaiting Cadian's return. What are you running down the flashbang, James? Is that painful? Are you experiencing pain?
It is. It's not painful this time, but it is generally painful, even to write with my arm right now. Yeah, I didn't realize that I wrecked it that badly. I'm quite surprised actually, because normally you get some prior warnings, but I was just going in, man. I was just in there.
In the zone, you're so far in the zone.
I was out there like Skadoodle. And then everything went wrong.
All the way in the zone. Got to find something to do that's not Counter-Strike now for a little bit.
Yeah, poker.
Nice.
And just not using my phone, not playing Switch, not...
Play Geometry Dash.
Oh, wow.
Just your spacebar.
You know, actually, you could probably play online poker with like dictations, like...
He's not an online poker guy.
I'm not big on... on occasion, but I'm not really big on online poker. I don't have the patience for that. I'm a live poker guy.
Yeah.
I'm a live poker guy. By sheer accident, some buddies are going to be in Vegas as well, so...
Nice. Really?
Have a beverage or two. Bevy. Just the one, in fact.
Fighting game dudes? Nice. Well, we'll see the Rogue side already losing a man, and Luminosity, again, we can take note of how they handle their 5v4s. And you can see they just settle into a nice execution into the top middle, and relevant grenades are thrown. Looking really smooth at the moment on the way through. Everyone more or less winning their challenges, and the bomb site's taken, and another round will be awarded to Luminosity. Right now, Rogue are sort of just unable to really to stop them. And this is kind of the problem when you have sort of a round like this where you have no utility. You are at the mercy of the T side. They can take whatever the hell they want. You can't really stop them.
There it is again. It's one of the things that suck about being a B player. When you're either stuck trying to save or killed on the rotation.
And when it's so early like this, the round is not over. It's especially difficult when they can walk because there's so much time left in the bomb and they know you're saving. But Hiko's not scared.
Oh.
Oh.
If he knifed into the smoke, that would have been amusing. For some, and not amusing for others. 9-2. We're heading towards 8 million points given away this season alone.
Wow.
On Face It.
I feel like the last 10 days has been the entire season. We've played a lot of Counter-Strike. Well, we've watched and commentated. We haven't played. Well, James has. I wonder if you kept up with the amount of games that we've been commentating, because that would definitely wreck anyone's arm.
I've played as much as physically possible, as we've seen.
Yeah.
So I've reached the limits of my capabilities as a human being.
You've come in the morning, like play one, and then you play one at lunch.
You play one at lunch,
in the afternoon. So
James is a gamer. I'm impressed.
it actually doesn't seem to stop for James, which is kind of cool. Anyway, I'll have to take the mantle as James recovers, and we shall see now this round whether Rogue will offer something a bit better. They have 4-man stack towards A, leaving Cadian AWPing from the coffins on B. So it's going to work out. But the question is, okay, they're actually going to try to challenge top mid. This is cool. Sick is burning a bit, and surely that was heard. But the smokes are down. It's hard to get to him, and they'll keep the push coming. Flash is going. Nice counter flash there from Rogue as they go for the challenges, and this is what you like to see. Telling the Brazilians to get lost on mid, and Showtime gets caught as well. Will he go down here? Eco surely has the frag. He does.
Look what's going on in the meantime. The last two players heading into the B bomb site, and Cadian is suggesting that nobody's there, but there is the smoke down which is presumably done by the T. He's going for it. The scope, he barely even fired the shot. Nekis wrecks him immediately. How far can they go with this?
Oh my god.
Well, there we go. It's suddenly into a 2 versus 2. They've got no grenades, but they have got position with this AWP. That grenade will do some nice damage, but oh, no more shots. Nekis so close. Not expecting that one. He can't back off too much, 39 HP. There's one.
No.
And it will be down to the last rogue player. Holy potatoes.
That was so close, my god.
That was, I mean, it was 5v2, should have never came that close, but they played that really well.
They did.
The double construction for those kills right away, that was almost amazing.
That was so good. Oh, wow. That was exciting. That is so hilarious.
That's amazing.
The reason why that's also like very smart is because that actually costs nothing to do, and that you can see Cadian was going for a lineup by using the side of the wall.
Yeah.
So that's actually a predictable location to spam. So that's really smart for Nekis, had the presence of mind to think to do that with no sound cue.
He also didn't line it up properly, so.
Yeah,
I think he was holding the angle, and then as soon as Cadian scoped, he started shooting. I think he was just holding for a smoke push in general.
It's beautiful.
And I mean, it might just be coincidence and timing, but Cadian spokes and then just got shot in the face immediately.
Double hit. Oh, you think that'd be good, actually.
Oh, the burst. Double orbs are going to be struggling against this. Oh, that's a whiff.
Can they even afford to save in this situation? This is a reset round.
Yeah.
So they can't lose this round.
But
they will lose this round.
They'll probably
because 4 versus 2.
Force in the.
If it was 2 versus 3, maybe they go for it. But 4 versus 2, even though you can't lose the round, you're going to lose the round anyway against your will.
That's the ultimate cut.
Against your will. Take man round by force.
Yeah, really. Wow, man. That was. They had the good setup. They had double pit for the flashes. Somebody fell off the balcony. That was a little bit awkward. The other guy in pit didn't get a kill. Katie missed a shot. That could have made it a 2v3 or 3v3 or something like that.
Boom.
Boom. And here we are. In the doldrums. With Rogue.
In the doldrums. In the basement bargain bin. Well then.
Where everything's on sale, but you don't have any money.
This is a dangerous buy for Rogue. That is, I like that phrase. It's a good phrase.
Yeah.
Sig forced away with the AWP. He will reset into another situation, but what hope is there for Rogue? They need a stroke of luck. They have a lot of smoke grenades, but they haven't really deployed any that I can see, at least towards the B-bomb sides. A minute 20, and they were forced away from Banana immediately. Oh boy!
Oh, man.
There goes the big gun. Eco's got to be careful.
Ooh.
Eco with a massive second frag, but it's a long rotation for his teammates.
Yeah, this is looking pretty nice here for Rogue on the retake. Eco gets an additional kill, but Cello and Yell are alive. That is very important. Yell but he has Banana and the Orb, and that is huge. Yell could really work well here. Oh, Cello's gonna have the reads. They are mostly in construction, which might distract Yell too much because it's going to be a flank very shortly. Can Yell get any value back through the smoke? Oh! Can't quite see Vice in time. And that's going to be the round for Rogue. A much-needed 4th round on the board for them. But the money must surely be great for Luminosity, and they can still get the 11th round as well. So Rogue have to keep their heads in the game. Get that 5-10.
For Rogue, their options are still pretty wide open. They've had success on both bomb sites. Got the bomb down, even in that round. They've won very unlikely 2vx rounds as well. They're full of hope, thriving,
Full of hope.
teaming.
Piping.
Brimming.
Oozing.
Teetering. I've added a syllable, I'm sorry.
Syllabical.
Oh dear.
So,
Biblical biblicist, lyrical lyricist, physical physicist. Let's go.
Physical physicist. Why is that so funny? Oh my god.
Broken launches.
That hit me right in the funny bone. Oh my god.
Oh! Yeah, got hit in the.
He got hit in the physicist.
The dead zone.
He got hit in the physicist.
The physicist. Well. I don't know how to work with this. Showdown and PK on the 2v3. Oh my dear. That is a nice shot onto KDN. No utility left for Rogue, but they will be looking to push together. That the player sick in balcony could be quite potent here in this. Oh, PKL has it. Oh, he sees the gun. That's pretty massive. PKL. He's got this. It's gonna be. He was going for the hold.
Oh my god.
Oh, he's not. He's coming up. He had it. Oh, he still gets it. That's actually really nuts.
That was a really weird situation because that's like the, that's the classic 1v1 on Inferno that you never see anymore. Like you just never see it end up like that anymore. It's always some weird open plant of some sort. But there, the bomb wasn't planted exactly default, so Hiko had kind of this weird angle on site he could defuse from. That must have been kind of awkward. So his team was probably like, oh, it could be on it. Force him to swing.
Hiko got some important multi-frags in that half. For the few rounds that Rogue were able to get, he was instrumental in a number of them.
Did it for the homies.
2 HE grenades for Luminosity, but where are they headed?
To the window.
Oh, there's...
Oh, nice.
Zeker's got wrecked by that P250 boy.
It's a pretty nice click. PKL. PKL. It's causing more trouble. And... Oh no. Oh! Sick. Nice little catch on the PKL in the end. Pickle.
Nice.
He will go down.
Nittle.
It's
Gustavo Nittle.
Trickle.
It's a hard pickle to swallow.
Number 5, Luminosity with a good start. I like this. Rogue actually going no Kevlar on some of these players and going max grenades. The problem is that the lack of Kevlar might make it so that they get ruined by counter grenades or HEs like this. One damage.
Why not?
What? How's a grenade doing 1 damage? That always seemed weird to me that a grenade could do 1 damage. It feels like it actually be something that happens very rarely. But never mind.
Don't outstay your welcome, Showtime. Warning of what might be to come. This is curious.
Wow, double it. Why not?
No grenades for Cello. Yell has the flash for Paul. You should be holding that out as a precaution.
This is like when there's the entire bus is empty and someone sits right beside you.
So when you get hit over the head with a bottle. So there's a pop flash and Yell makes his way in, but he's only facing on his own. There is a second kill here. Did they hear the Molotov clip? Cello, oh, he waited to try and get 2, but Hiko has the awareness.
They save, but Gideon has no Kevlar, and Sick has no helmets, so this might be tough. There's a incendiary that will clear out the quad position. Sounds clear. Definitely clear. Ooh, this is scary stuff here for Luminosity. Jumping across. Oh, 180 there. 2 players left, very susceptible to this UMP. Oh, is that enough time? He has a kit.
He has a kit.
He's got to tap it now, and he's got to just go for the pre-aim. Oh, the pre-fire even. Yeah, it's too late. Good round by Rogue.
Wow, that was really close. He
died. He died.
That was so close to almost being able to go for it still.
Yeah, yeah.
I wondered if he would chase him while the Molotov was down. Just go and take the fight at Banana.
Yeah.
But maybe it would have pulled him too far away, so.
Yeah, it's tough. You'd have to count on him kind of making the wrong play and just fighting him. Tech pause. Technical. Everything exploderized.
I've had a few PC crashes today. And there's another one. I'm going to ice my arm again.
When Dan said that, actually Made me realize I've never had like a real tech issue, like ever. It's weird.
Yeah, the weirdest one is that when people say they have like voice comms,
Yeah, like
server problems and
TeamSpeak.
stuff, and it's like, in my era, I can understand that, but it still never happened to me. But like in the current era, it's like there's so many options. You got
Everyone's got TeamSpeak, Discord,
got-
mobile, etc.
yeah, there's like multiple TeamSpeak servers. There's like Discord, and Discord's amazing because you can actually if you can
Instantly
actually
make new
feel
ones.
yeah, you can switch the server of it like to different locations. So it just that always seemed a bit of a strange one. In online CS especially because it's like your home setup, so you should have the least issues really.
Yeah.
It's very strange, but it is what it is.
Computers.
Not everyone can be as perfect as us with technology. London.
That's true. It is surprising how a lot of people aren't as tech savvy as you might expect,
Yeah, I knew quite
considering
a few.
their professions.
Yeah. I knew a guy who was just super talented at sports. He's like the nicest guy ever, but he has no idea like how to do anything with a computer. Like nothing. Like he can just about turn it on and maybe launch the game if he's lucky. And that's it. And he can play on like any mouse, any sensitivity. He just rocks up any mouse, any sensitivity, and he's still a god.
Yeah.
Because his ability. It's like very interesting. It's such a cool topic to talk about, but it's like the whole game smart stuff. Like some people are very, very good at just understanding the inherent advantages and disadvantages about like playing this game.
They learn
like,
just so fast.
and
yeah.
they can't explain any of it, but they just understand it.
Yeah, I
Their
had that.
brain just gets it.
The most talented player I've ever played with had never changed a setting in Counter-Strike, didn't know the DPI on his mouse, had mouse acceleration. If he told out a sensitivity, it would have been like 9 at 400 DPI. And we played against iBuyPower, and we 12 rounds on Nuke. He actually, in the game, ran over a gun, picked it up immediately, and in the cast, Cotton was like, "Does he have auto weapon pickup on?" It must have looked so sketchy.
Nice. Well, Luminosity might be making this doable. It's 2v3 now, though. I think that frag really had to fall away at Luminosity, and this will be converted around by Rogue. They can go for this, though. Ooh, hello.
Round
Lost health,
activated.
though. Yeah, it's... Sick will get the rest of the players. So
Come back.
Yep. 4 rounds away.
Come back, Israel. Never been to Israel.
Okay, so you did say that.
It's annoying those countries because like if you go to Israel, then you get auto banned from like Iran, from this, from that. If you go to Iran, you get auto banned from Israel, and also you can't use an ESTA to go to the United States. You have to apply for a visa unless you went there on a work visa, which is why Carrigan had an issue once going to a US tournament. Had to get like some Denmark dude to say, "Hey, this guy's cool."
That's really weird.
Sort it out, short notice. Yeah.
Damn, you got a 50-50 your whole life. Travel experiences.
It's crazy too because it also depends like where you're from too. You get so much like priority and depending on like how the politics is between the two countries and the agreements and stuff.
Yeah.
Like if you're from the UK, like we have like, a very good passport because that's what people say because
we invaded loads of countries ages ago.
and some countries
Everyone's
like
still salty about it.
But if you're, if you come from like Russia or something, you're gonna have way more issues with your passport than like going to Western countries or
That's why Canadian passport's the perfect passport.
Because you're not American.
Because we don't fight.
Isn't it like UK is up there? I think Swedish one's up there as well, and also Japanese. I think Japanese is a good passport as well. I think I might be wrong. I'm not sure about that one, but anyways. Complicated things. Let's go back to the simple things in Counter-Strike, where it's just about playing some video games, I guess.
Why can't it only be about that, you know?
It's pure. It's pure. It's about winning. And let's see. We'll see Rogue doubling back to B. I don't like that Luminosity have zero info, but okay, there's some info from Cholo. So do we get a rotation? Surely one play at least goes towards Arch, at least. Flash Arch, but still. They've got to know. Okay, they are rotating 2 players. Or are they just trying to retake top mid? I feel like they've got to rotate someone now. They've seen nothing top mids. They've got to rotate somebody. Okay, thank God. I feel like Rogue have been too slow as well, like way too slow. So we'll see how this works out, and we'll talk about that. Okay. Okay, we had some stuff to talk about after this. 4 versus 2. Luminosity not interested in this, I'm sure, considering where PKL is. So Launders. Got a situation where Rogue were too slow, and Luminosity didn't see the set piece coming, and you can see that because of the positioning after the Molotovs.
Yeah.
They're standing on each other. If you expect a set piece, you're not going to be standing in those positions to then be in those positions. So
no. That's the fog of war.
But this, at the same token, like it's just like I'm dead. But at the same token, like when okay, so this is the thing, right? In Counter-Strike, sometimes you can only get so much information, and you have to make a call. But sometimes I feel like certain teams, they want more information that it is realistic to get. Like they want to see the player to know that he's there, as opposed to saying we've deduced that he can't be in all these spaces. There's 2 spaces he could be, and now we need to make a guess. If you see what I mean. Because this affects how you rotate based on the information you get.
Yeah.
Right? You can't always know what's going to happen, so you have to make guesses based on the info.
Yeah.
So
I mean, yeah, but you can't I don't think it would be safe to play by only saying, like you've said it before, we make decisions based off of incomplete information, right?
Yeah.
So, and as you're saying, what also counts into things like fog of war is like audio cues, grenades, right? All that stuff that you hear as well. So, have like saying, I'm not going to move because I didn't see someone. I don't think that it would be a good way to play. If that's what they were doing, that probably.
Yeah.
Because they clearly didn't have enough information, because they would have at least had a chance to fight if they knew an XQ was coming, but instead they just got owned. Because
what the series of events was, there was about 45 seconds left. Cello peeks to get information on top banana, sees like 2 or 3 players, hears a lot of stuff, and then runs back into the back of the site. They're heat and potty, and then the A players who are playing 3 on the A site, takes them about 5-10 seconds before they then suddenly move. So it's like that in of itself is disjointed, and then they take top mids, see nothing's there.
You know what I think it is,
and then they don't do anything until there's more sound cues on B.
I think for a long time, for years, like maybe 14, 15 years,
Yep,
there were situations where you could play like passive setups, like just, hey, let's play passive this round.
Yeah, the Swedes
it doesn't really exist anymore,
Mm-hmm.
like at all. There's got to be at least something for information somewhere, especially now that anti-ecos are not easy to win. You actually see teams pushing on anti-ecos sometimes on CT side, because you play passively on sites you can lose. So there's like basically 0 rounds where you can do everything passively and you're actually playing the best way possible. Vice is kind of in a I don't know. You might. Wait, what? Was that the bomb just blew up at A, right?
Yeah.
And Vice was in pit?
Yes.
Did he not take any damage?
Was he not 100 HP?
I might have been looking at the wrong guy, but I swear he's at 95 health.
I think you're the problem.
Oh,
it wasn't planted default, it was planted at the back.
Oh.
See, you're the problem. Told you.
Okay.
Stop being the problem. Be the answer. Be the solution.
Salondas.
So Dan.
I just combined the word solution and Launders.
Oh.
You what?
Never mind. It's really dumb. Been doing this for a while. Oh! So one person spotted that banana for showtime. He's going to fall into the site, actually. And hold from coffins. Pretty man set up towards...
Yeah, they actually YOLO stacked it.
Yeah.
So that works.
Yeah, indeed. Should be effective. Will Neckers get a pot flashed forwards? That could be quite strong. Some teams really like to do that. Flash in. Indeed, they're trying to get something going there. A bit of pressure. This is very, very, very tight right now. Nice. How does he get that? It's crazy good from Vice. And GMD with a running AK. Now PPL needs to kill multiple players. And he can't do it. Save time for Luminosity. Rogue They're going to tie up the game. Tie it up.
Taste of their own medicine. Luminosity
That's true.
plays towards B like, well, I guess we're trying to save. Again.
Yeah, I mean, it was nice for a Vice. They use Vice as like this watchtower guy to take advantage of all his angles. I was lucky to get his kill, but he played his position really well. As for the guys on A, it seemed like they were yearning to go for the peek at mid.
Yeah, and
but they just didn't do it, and then they were like awkwardly falling back. So they had 3 people for lane and hall, so not getting one. I mean,
and that's kind of what you're talking about in a sense as well. Like, even though there was some sort of like a tug of war there, which sort of never really came to much, because Luminosity didn't go for the straight push, you actually have a spot where like there's a lot of teams which would have actually pushed quad in that position, and what it effectively does is staggers the attack instead of allowing the attack to be executed as it is when they're offline, practicing how to execute the attack.
Yeah, make him uncomfortable. Exactly. Exactly.
Tactical timeout from Luminosity.
I guess the word, if you want to put it in one word, is disruption. And that is a fundamental of the game as well, disruption.
Thanks, Dan. Oh, look, there's water lilies. Water lilies. Nice. I last saw water lilies when I was in Fiji, diving with bull sharks. Not during the dive, but afterwards.
Oh, you were in Fiji?
Yeah, I flew to Fiji from LA on Fiji Airways.
Do they all drink Fiji water in Fiji? I feel like that'd be pretty annoying.
You could learn some funny stories about Fiji water, actually. Not very good ones. 2 players remain for Rogue after a very violent push-up banana from Rogue.
Cremation.
Most of the violence, though, was they were the recipient of, rather than the... what's the opposite of a recipient? The sender?
Yeah.
For an email, at least. Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear.
Antagonist.
That works, kind of.
Deliverer.
Recipient rather than the... it'll come to me.
Messenger.
Not messenger, it's not a message.
Physicist.
Physical.
Physicist, that works.
I mean, if it relates to, if it pertains to something in physics.
Or it's
Don't
physical.
try and create an argument for your nonsense answer there. That is going too far. That is where you have to stop.
Okay. That's fair.
Let me create an argument for my BS answers to this question.
Go through it. There's no one else here. It's just Nekuz.
Oh! Push out of the site, gets punished. And Cho's gonna stand in the flames, punished. Oh, this is not a good look for the Brazilian lads. Oh dear. I'm not sure how to, like, with Luminosity CT side, there's, there's a few things which I think, you could tweak. But
seems like they just get a bit scared.
yeah, it does feel like they're super scared. Actually, like super scared. Like, we haven't seen a lot of disruption. They're not like, let's say, taking deep banana control. They're not, really pushing the issue there. They're not really, like, whenever there are spots where Rogue are playing a slow pace, the information plays not only sometimes come too late, but then they don't ever seem satisfied with the information they have, and they don't create an action from the information that they get on the info plays.
Yeah.
That's like one of the rounds we talked about prior, and so it just generally seems like there's a lot of issues fundamentally from Luminosity's CT Inferno. Their T side was great. They had a great T side, and that's always been the case. But the CT side has been a bit strange.
And their CT overpass seemed to be better. So yeah, I don't know.
They'll get there. They'll get there. They should definitely watch some NRG.
Yeah, for real.
NRG is a great team for them to learn from, I think.
For everybody to learn from.
And Luminosity have the ability to play like Luminosity, like NRG, that same style. So they are going double off though. Oh,
wow.
Nice. Nice. It's a good start from Cadian, and Rogue can keep gonna, well, they can take top banana. There is a smoke down by the CTs, which will slow down that plan though.
1 minute mark. Rogue looking to take the lead. Smoke's delivered around Arch. Yell waiting for a flashbang. There's 180 from him. GMD already dead. And now that's the short position taken over. Yell gambling through the smoke, but he's too slow. He's too late.
That was nice.
Rogue playing well. They're playing well.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, you know, for whatever sort of mistakes we can, or, you know, sort of things that we can bring up about Luminosity and what we'd like to see different from them, Rogue are playing a good T side, and Luminosity are not having a good time with it.
Yeah, that round, I mean, that round right there, like, what more can we ask for? They were up top bracket early on in the rounds. Rogue kind of went right into them, but they had the smokes to support. They had the arch smoke, which perfectly smokes off the offer. They came out to trade properly. So, that was a good round. Good. Yell Zhao.
13 to 12. It's all down to Yell. Again, he can't hold this angle forever. Surprised he was flashed for that long from that distance, but learn something new every day. Does he want to regress to that pit position though?
Do you know cheetahs' tails are as long as their bodies?
Is that true?
Yeah.
How do I know I can trust you?
I mean, you can just Google it later if you want.
I want to Google it right now. You
Then
just
it finds out it's wrong. It's like, God damn it.
let me see. If I see any Snopes links, I'm gonna cuss you out immediately.
I mean, it could be proven true on Snopes.
Snopes is a well, that's true. Yeah.
So you better click it.
Push into the B-bomb side from Rogue. There is nothing to really stop them. USPs, what do they work? Very little. Did I say that? The Showtime somehow still gets... Okay. Okay, 4v2 for Luminosity. I don't know how this has happened. Ooh, that was close. You see the shot ricocheting off of the second Orange's position. The old barrel things. And the kegs, perhaps. Nice catch. Cadian looking for the next one. Oh my god, so awkward. So very awkward. Sick with everywhere to look, but he can't do it all at once, and I have no idea how they made that work. But Luminosity aren't out of this one just yet.
I'm just as shocked as you are. I'm with you in this boat.
That was really weird.
So apparently, an adult cheetah's tail length is 2 to 2.8 feet, but a cheetah is 3.5 to 5 feet.
So yeah.
What do you mean? So yeah, there's two different numbers altogether. What are you talking about?
Didn't you say
2.8 and 3.5, I think you said.
that doesn't? Well, he's 3.5 from like the butt to the head. Is that what you're saying?
Length of a cheetah, 1.1 to 1.5 meters. Tail, 60 to 80 centimeters. So I knew what you said was absolute nonsense, Launders.
That was pretty close.
What do you mean? You said the same. It's not the same as different. That's not close at all. That's the opposite.
Super close, man.
That's the opposite. It's like a male and a female.
We're splitting hairs.
It's like the ground and the sky, Launders. That's what it's like. Can't trust this man. And his off-the-cuff facts.
His hair is up to date.
His
James,
cuffs are dirty.
So you should expect this.
His cuffs need a wash.
Someone call me a money launderers on Reddit.
Money launders. PKO going for a big push, more aggression from Luminosity. Perhaps they have begun the adaptation. Yell. That's a pretty nice pick onto Sick, and this is never going to go well for Vice. So 4v3, they can fall back a little bit now if they want. And Rogue put into desperation position, which is, we've got one option, we've got to group up, we've got to go for it. And Showtime is ready to receive.
Receive or deliver. Receive and deliver.
Exactly.
Resist and deliver. Shot while blind, and there are too many targets. That will leave Cadian versus 4. Pop flash is out, and there's another one for him. Stay blind, bro. There he goes. Lead for Luminosity now. They've traded rounds, and that might be a problem for Rogue. Nope, they've got loads of money in the back. Loads of money.
And that's so they're like, this is why you see so many teams being aggressive just all the time as well. Like, just think about all the situations Luminosity created there. They played aggressive in apps. They created like situations where there's a couple 1v1s which they're able to win. With, partially just due to the the surprise element and having an AWP in the window and all that kind of stuff. And then that disruption creates these mid-round scenarios where not everyone can cover everything. And so with the knowledge you have of the T's, all of a sudden you get like these really cool mid-round decisions where you can move around on the map a lot. You can get information a bit easier than the 5v5s where you're just very passive.
Yeah, it's really just setting foot in the cold water. Just as soon as you do that, it's fine. But sometimes it takes a bit. And I mean, the cold water sometimes kills you, but in Counter-Strike, the risk is worth it.
This is pretty scary. Good flash, but maybe this is too aggressive. We'll have to see from Luminosity. We saw this from Virtus Pro earlier today. Did not go well for them.
That works.
Watch out for second mid, and Nekis with a good timing on it. Understands that if he's shooting, that's going to draw out the second mid players to trade. And this is really tough for PKL. That smoke will go away eventually. There's a quick flash over the top. That's going to work. Oh my god, did they get out of here? There might still be a chance with double ops for them to survive here, but it's down to Showtime, I think. Showtime really has to get a kill on the defense here on Banana.
They've got 2 ops, so I mean, technically, Rogue they could get unlucky because Yell's way out here. Oh, Showtime's falling back. This is a really strange setup suddenly, because with B control, at least I get the info, but now Yell's just literally got to go superhero mode from the apartments for them to have a chance. If they take A, they can't retake. There's like no way. Oh my god.
That's kind of crazy hits that, but it's still not enough for the team to win this round, I think.
Why did they play passively? Because they had because they had 2 players, they played passively on B. Like,
yeah. Indeed.
Cadian's in a weird position. Well, he would have been if they were rotating up, but he probably would have got at least 1 kill and 1 round for his team. I don't know if he would have heard them towards the bottom of mid, but Rogue's money's not spectacular either, so they may not be too inclined to hunt. And there is 14 apiece now. This one going down to the wire. LGB stickers on that gun.
Oh,
there you go. They're pretty much the standard sticker for the Redline AK.
yeah, I had 4 of the 2014 hollows on my Redline. It's beautiful.
I don't even know what I still have a Redline, but I don't know what stickers are on it. I'm going to check.
Strange round. Strange round.
Yeah.
It's unlucky. I mean,
I mean, I like that mid aggression, but only when you know the T's don't have an AWP. That's the only time I like it. I feel like for me that's the requisite for you to go for that. And it's just because it just changes the dynamic. Because if they know you have an AWP, and they don't have an AWP, it's more likely that you as a CT AWPer feel like you have a bit more freedom to take a slightly deeper angle, which makes it a situation where the T's will not really be peeking into you. You get more space. It's but I suppose it was surprising. Could always have gone well.
And off we go. AWPs continue on both sides. This is well, if Luminosity win this round, Rogue can still buy. If Rogue win this round, it's going to be very hard for them to lose the game in normal time because Luminosity will have nothing.
Yeah, I was just thinking that as well.
Release the apartment smokes really early. Let's see if PKL goes back for anything. No, they've just set up all passive. Done the setup before, but it hasn't always been the right amount of information. I mean,
Surely Rogue saw where that smoke was deployed from.
yeah.
So they can guess the kind of setup the CTs have if they are playing 2 on the site. We don't see that much variation on the site itself. Still the spam continues, but they will quietly check it, maybe taking the risk because
Oh boy.
they know what might be. Well, there is a play in and ECO will win the duel. Now this is getting really weird for Luminosity.
They should have let that smoke plume and then him take the peek off the flash. They could clear it, hold for that extra 15 seconds. But now they're getting a little low on utility. Full execute come out, rotates there, but they're down a man. That was in an uncomfortable spot. Good mollies.
Yeah, nowhere to stand. This is another reason why disruptive style works very well against execute-heavy teams. Don't have the nades to do the executes if you get a couple kills in the mid-round, but Luminosity, they are on the 3v5 retake. The question is, do they just try to save the AWP? Because as James mentioned, there's no AWP for them next round if they don't.
So, I mean, the round was over because they threw the smoke that was telegraphed, so you could see the trajectory, and they weren't even scared that there was going to be on 2 top banana. They threw 1 Molotov, a flash over, walk peeked it. So they're pretty clear that it was like 2 insight. So I didn't think it was like 2 on banana, and the last guy rotated out. And then it's like just a full execute. They try to flash retake it, but they threw the smoke that plumed a little bit late. Mistakes were made.
Mistakes were made. So as James said, it should be difficult for Rogue to, well, they have a sizable advantage, let's put it that way. So they should be good to try to close this one. They've taken a tactical though. Guys, we're about to win the game, don't mess it up. Guys, has everyone got, you know, the sufficient pressure on their shoulders? Okay, good.
See, this round, ironically, is where like Luminosity will probably go pretty aggressive.
Yeah.
And that's actually, you know, what they should have been doing.
It did seem like they were trying to do that towards the end of the CT side, like they worked it out, but at the same time, like, again, sort of, I feel like it seemed like they went from 0 to 100. It's like you don't necessarily have to do like mid pushes in spots where your opponent has an AWP. You can just play really heavy, but like play for banana control and try to get a deep smoke on banana, try to control that area of the map, or try to do the apps push, which they did successfully in the previous round, or just be a bit more active generally. Like, so you don't have to go for the crazy stuff. But never mind. It's a cool way to do the boost. Oh, a Rogue considering a horse pop, I wonder. As was done to them.
Their set pieces have been working out really well for them. They're faster plays.
Yeah. And that's again, like, against teams that go for those kinds of, you know, that's their strength, and they're not as good as the mid-rounding. It's again, like, being aggressive just owns teams like that, because they're forced to mid-round. They can't run a set piece with insufficient grenades. And that's another reason why taking over banana control is really useful, because they have to use grenades to get it back. Then they may not have enough Molotovs and all this kind of stuff later on. So
that's such a good point.
Like, you have to be active. Got to make it cost. Everything has to cost something. If you're giving stuff away for free, then
you're not running a good business.
Then you're not running a good business. It's a good. That's a good way to put it. Nice. Team play.
Rogue offering a fake towards the B-bomb sites. But will the clock be their friend? It will be a long rotation for these 3 B players once they realize that it's the A-bomb site. Or is it a wrap towards the B-bomb site? 18 seconds and maybe they won't be afforded the wrap, but the rotation is coming in from Yell. PKL, that's the bomb picked off. And with 10 seconds, it's going to be a race because Yell's just around the corner. Surely keeps charging. He has to, no. 3 versus 2, he's waiting for his teammates. Instead, they'll go straight into the gun, and maybe that was the play. Maybe that was the winning play, but how could he know? He had to assume that the bomb plant was being covered. How could he know? That was the window of opportunity for Luminosity, but it wasn't taken, and Rogue will take it 16-14.
Yeah, you never know.
That was a nice spot for a fake.
Definitely. Yeah, that's when they're most scared too, and you haven't done it yet, so that's when you're most vulnerable. If you fake every round, you'd think faking every round would be great, but you can't fake every round because then it's obvious. But if you've never done it before, then they're gonna believe. They're gonna believe.
Absolutely.
They're gonna drink Kool-Aid.
It's cool too, just as you say, like, Luminosity will be so afraid of the set pieces, they'll overreact at this point. And it was perfect. definitely a lot for Luminosity to think about in this game. And Rogue, they played well on the T side. There's definitely things that Luminosity can do to prevent Rogue's strengths from being displayed as they were. But Rogue execute their game plan well, and they're going to come out with a W, which is really, really nice against a team like Luminosity. Definitely a bit of an upset, I would say, personally. And moving forwards into more matches, hopefully gives them some additional confidence.
Great stuff from Rogue, and indeed there are 2 more games to come from the team. Those will be up against NRG. Sick with a clean 100 ADR, exactly 3,006 damage. Props to Rogue for taking that one over the line. It was not an easy one versus Luminosity, but they go 1 for 1 in their first 2 games again. They have 2 more games to come. Those are going to be on against NRG, so perhaps things get only more difficult for Rogue, and those will be on Mirage and Inferno. So Mirage coming up next after the break. See you back here soon.